Hi, my name's Lily. I wanted to make a video about travel nursing. Lately, I've just been feeling unsettled in my life. I don't know what to do. I'm 29. I am right now living with my friend and her family. And I was talking to her saying that, like, oh my gosh, did I really just make this decision to live in somebody else's house as if this is just a normal thing? And basically was feeling bad about my life. She was like, no, girl, you've done more things in your life than most people have ever done in their life. Like, you've traveled to more places than most people have. You've seen more things. You've done more things than most people. Like, no, girl, you're good. Trust me. So I just wanted to make a video about travel nursing, and how it's basically treated me over the past couple years. So I've done travel nursing since 2016, and it is 2021 right now. So basically off and on for 5 years. And prior to travel nursing, I only worked one staff job. Other than that, I worked there for about 2-ish years, and then I left to go travel because I debated whether I should do travel nursing or work at a different hospital, switch to a different specialty. But since I finally had enough experience as a nurse, I decided, oh, let me just try travel nursing out. So this video is about pros and cons for travel nursing. So first, I'll start with the pros. One, the money. Travel nursing has made me the best money I have ever made and probably will ever make, especially if you don't own your own business, just working for somebody else. Travel nursing is good money. I basically have more money than my friends. I have two sisters. Even though I don't work all the time, if I did work all year long, I would definitely make more money than them. But for me with travel nursing, I take breaks. And actually, that's a bonus that I didn't think about before, is the ability to take breaks. I was getting burnt out at my staff job. I worked night shift and then I switched to PRN, which means basically kind of picking up shifts. And I would pick up more day shifts than night shifts, than anything, just for my body to feel a little bit better. But I just felt like I had no free time. I was always thinking about, when do I have to go to work next? When do I have to go to work next? Oh, I only have 2 days off and then I have to go to work. Or like, even if I had 3 or 4 days off next, it's like, oh, one more day closer to going back to work. I just felt like I had no free time, even if I put in a little bit of PTO, but also I wasn't accruing a lot of PTO. I don't know why or how. I just don't feel like I had a lot of PTO hours that I could really take time off. And so with travel nursing, you have the ability to take a break. Most people don't get to take a break from their jobs. For me, the longest break I've taken is 1 year. And that's only because of the coronavirus. I was afraid to go back, especially with the things that I know about travel nursing, nursing in general. If I would go back, I'd be in a hospital setting. And I was afraid about how the hospitals were treating the nurses, because you see on the news that they weren't treating them that great. So why would I want to go back to that? So I just lived off of my travel nurse savings until I couldn't anymore. Another pro is seeing different parts of the country that you've never seen before. So I'm from the East Coast, but I'm currently on the West Coast right now. Places I've traveled to, I've been to North Carolina, Washington, D.C., Washington State, and California. I've also driven from East Coast to West Coast, Coast to East Coast multiple times. After the first time, I thought I would never do it again, and then I've done it like 4 other times. I don't even know how many times. I've done it way too many times. While traveling East Coast to West Coast, sometimes I would plan it out to stop at certain areas. So I've never been to Colorado, and I love nice mountains, snow-capped mountain scenes. So I stopped in Colorado before, stopped in Vegas before, saw Mount Rushmore, Yellowstone Park. A lot of cool things that if I just would have stayed on the East Coast, I never would have seen before. Another pro is you get to meet new people. meet new people, see new things, try new things, try new foods. Food is a favorite for me. So trying new foods, how it is on the East Coast versus the West Coast and anywhere in between. Another pro that I think of is rising to the challenge. I like a challenge. I don't want too crazy of a challenge because with travel nursing, you're still doing whatever type of nursing you are already like comfortable doing, you've already been working in. It's just learning how to do it in a new way, learn how to do it at this hospital's way as opposed to how you learned originally. So for me, a big pro is rising to that challenge, challenging myself to do something different, see something different, and how quickly can I adapt to this new environment with the new way that they do things. Another pro is seeing differences in healthcare all across the US because I've only traveled in the US. And I will say this is kind of a pro and con of it because I have seen things that kind of rub me the wrong way in certain places. And then things that like, oh my gosh, this is cool. Like I've learned something new. Like this is amazing. This is something that I hope whenever I have a baby, because that's the type of nurse that I am. I work mother baby. And so I feel like I've just been traveling around seeing, would I have a baby in this area, in this place? Would I want to? Some places I have, I'm like, okay, yeah, I would definitely have a baby here. But there's also been a lot of places where, nope, nope. Even if I had puppies, puppies won't be allowed to be born here. Another pro is learning new things about yourself. So another goal of mine for travel nursing was to see how well I could just adapt to a new area. How good could I be on my own? I've never really been on my own before. I've lived close to family. I wanted to see how could I be on my own. I'm very introverted. It's hard for me to talk to new people, to make new friends, meet new people. I do good at being a nurse and like establishing a nice rapport with my patients. But when it comes to making friends, usually I'm good with my patients and poor with my coworkers. My coworkers always think I am a B word at first, or like just very standoffish. Because I'm quiet. I come in, I find my patient assignment, get reports, start working. I come to work. And I can't help it. I just have been like that since I was a kid. But now that I've gotten older and seen more things and seeing how people interpret my actions, I now strive to work past that and get past that. So everywhere I go, I make sure to say like, oh, hello, good morning, and make this nice, vibrant face so that they don't think that I'm a B word, because I'm not. I'm actually very friendly. If you talk to me, I will talk back, but sometimes you have to talk to me first. So if you don't talk to me, I don't talk to you. I don't think you are a B word if you don't say anything. What I will think if you're a B word, if I talk to you and you don't talk back, then that to me, that's, acting stank. But I don't act stank, if you talk to me, I can talk to you. Ooh, another pro is picking up new skills. So things that I've learned, like skills that I've picked up along the way with travel nursing, doing phlebotomy type work at my first job, which is my only staff job I had before being a travel nurse. They had phlebotomy. Phlebotomy would come around. They'd take people's blood. They also did the baby's PKU, which is the little heel prick, if you don't know what that is. But it's a heel prick that goes on this special paper for the baby. And at my first job, that was phlebotomy's job. I didn't have to do any of that. And then literally every travel assignment I've had since then, the nurse does the PKU. So I've learned that along the way. That wasn't something that I learned at my first job. And you just have to know yourself and kind of rise to that challenge again of, okay, I can do this. Let me see what I can do. Let me see how quick I can pick this skill up, how well I can do. And it was a little learning curve at first. I had to figure out, because I'm left-handed. So the way that most people do things, I have to do it the opposite way, or I have to adapt it to my own way. And so doing the PKU, it was a light struggle at first, but then I figured out which foot I like better, which spot on the foot I liked better. And usually when I do the PKU, I literally do it in the same spot on every baby. Mm-hmm. All right, these next two are kind of pros and cons, which will lead into the cons. But one is living minimally. Honestly, right now, I told you I just moved in with my friend in her house. This is the least amount of stuff I've ever traveled with. Most times I have a car full. I drive a Corolla, and so literally everything that I travel with fits in my Corolla. This time I actually had extra space. If I wanted to, I could have packed another tub, but I just pack little tubs. And since it's coronavirus time, I knew I didn't need much because where can I go? So I packed less shoes than I normally do. I packed less clothes than I normally do because I knew I wouldn't really be going anywhere. So what clothes do I really need other than clothes to sit around the house? And then also a pro but con is learning to function in a new area. So for example, when I first came to the West Coast, I didn't know what grocery stores there was. I'm from a country part of North Carolina, and Food Lion is my favorite grocery store. They don't have Food Lion on the West Coast. And then that's what I learned, that Safeway was a thing. I had to literally Google what is the name of grocery stores in this area. And, kind of see what comes up, and then like, oh, okay, I guess it's the grocery store. Let me, GPS this. But then also just getting around in a new area, getting used to the streets, the highways, traffic. One of the first times I ever worked on a Friday when I was working in Washington State, I did not know how heavy the traffic would be. So I just left at my normal time, and I was like, gosh, what are all these people doing on the road? And then that's when I learned, oh, every Friday at this time, it wasn't even 5 o'clock traffic. It was like, I think I had to be to work at 3. It was, I don't know, 2 p.m. traffic, whatever. But yeah, I was super late. I was like an hour late for work because I didn't know there would be that much traffic on a Friday. But whatever. All right, and that leads into cons. Some cons, the nurses can be jerks. I feel like people just think that you are this millionaire and that, you're just like literally making it rain money up in your bank account. And so they're like, we're going to work you like a slave, and we're going to treat you like a slave as well. And for me, like, I'm not a slave. That's not who I am. I'm actually a really nice person. I came here out of the goodness of my heart. Like, treat me right, I know how to stay. You don't know how to treat me, I don't know how to stay. That's literally my motto for every place that I go. If you don't know how to treat me, I don't know how to stay. And sometimes the nurses will be like, oh, are you going to stay with us? Are you going to stay with us? I've literally said, why? Why would I stay here? Why should I stay here? Like, you let me know, because the way that y'all have treated me has been like trash. If you treat me like trash, why would I stay here? Which also leads into getting bad patient assignments or heavy patient assignments. This one nurse at one of the hospitals I most recently worked at, which honestly I had a little PTSD from after I finished working there, just because of the working conditions, the way that the nurses treat you, the way the nurses treat each other, the way the nurses treat the patients. It was just a no for me, and I stayed there for a while. Just, anyways. But this one nurse said that, like, yeah, we always give the travelers the worst patient assignments. Why not? Because I'm a human being who has decided to leave her friends and family, come to your hospital to help you out. That's why you shouldn't treat me like trash. Do you want this help or not? Another con, you can not like the way that the hospital does things. Well, a big example for me is for babies around the 24-hour mark, they get lab work done. At my first hospital, it was the starting point. Literally all this work had to be done by the time they were discharged. You could just start at 24 hours, and then it's like, all right, as long as it's done before discharge, you're fine. Most other places I've went to, they have this strict time zone where, like, okay, you got an hour before they turn 24 hours and an hour after they turn 24 hours, but that's it. That's when this lab work needs to be done. I don't know what happens after, because it's not like, to me, it's not like it's that big of a deal. If you go to a hospital and, like, it's fine, just get it done before discharge. There's even the test that it is, like, it's the hearing screen. They get a pulse ox test to check how their heart is functioning. These things just need to be done, like, just at any point. It's fine. Like, it doesn't matter if it gets done at this 24-hour mark at 30 hours. It's actually better if it's still, it's closer to discharge. But I don't make these decisions. The hospital makes the decisions on when these tests get done. So that's a con for me, as you can kind of see as I've ranted on about this, that certain hospitals just want things done in a certain way on their special time frames. And it's just weird to me, especially if you go to other places that it's not that way. So then you just kind of know, like, they'll be fine. They'll be fine if this doesn't happen this exact way that you want it to. But, like, let me try to follow the rules. Another con is that travel nursing can be lonely. You're away from your friends. You're away from your family. Like I said, I'm introverted, so it's hard for me to make friends. Sometimes my coworkers think that I'm mean. I do have resting B-word face. Can't help it. But I do smile. I smile at work. If you talk to me, I can talk to you. Also, some of it, my resting angry face is just my thinking face. And then when I'm in a new environment, new hospital, I'm literally always thinking, like, okay, where is the supply room at? What was the code to this? When do you have to do that? Like, I'm just thinking. What else? This one's not necessarily a con, but it kind of is a con, or it always brings me stress every time. And that's finding a place to live, and for a decent price, because places get expensive. I did an assignment in LA just to rent a room. I don't even remember, because it's been a while, and I don't even want to remember how much I was paying, but I think it was like either $1,400 or $1,700 a month just for a room and a bathroom in a house where there were other people. Thankfully, while I was there, they wanted 3 people to rent out the house, and it was only me and one other person. But still, ridiculous. So that's a 2-in-1. The cost of a place to live, as well as finding a place to live. Another con, especially for me in my introverted ways, is negotiating your pay with your travel nurse company. For me, I honestly don't negotiate. I know people are like, what, girl? No. I don't know how to negotiate. Like, the only way I really know how to negotiate is if you have 2 pay packages from different companies, and one's quoting you higher than the other one, then usually the lower company will match the higher price. But I don't know how to sell myself. I know it's a con for myself, but I kind of am working on it. But also, I kind of want to get out of travel nursing, because I want some more stability in my life. I don't want to, I've traveled enough, but I'm getting older now. I kind of want to settle down, be in the same place, really get to know the rules and regulations and the policies of a hospital, and just kind of be a senior nurse somewhere. But also, I've never been a charge nurse. And so I want to pick up some new skills, learn some new things, and maybe do travel nursing again. But also, I kind of want to settle down now. Like, I've traveled already. I've traveled. All right, so that's it. So that's 10 cons, 10 pros of travel nursing. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I plan to make more videos about travel nursing, things that I've learned. I don't know, just more travel nurse type videos. So look out for those. See you in the next.